Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Knights Talk. I'm your host, Rob Leonard. Knights of Meaford they were scheduled to play 3 games this past week, but the Thursday night game was canceled due to a forfeiture by the Fergus Force, who are no longer in the league. So Meaford picked up an automatic 2 points from that game. So that means we haven't got any highlights because Rogers TV was not there that night. So then on, I believe it was Saturday, the Knights would take on the Seguin Huskies at home. Knights getting some Saturday games this year. And as you can see on the screen, the Knights come away with a 6-2 victory in that one. Jeff Hyndman would have a pair. Callum Queenan, Owen Tichborne, he's been on fire as of late. And Tyler Strutz would have a goal and 3 assists in that one, as well as Daniels Lega would round out the scoring for the Knights in that game. Then on Sunday afternoon, they would make the long trip up to Almaguin. Almaguin has won 5 in a row at this point, and we'll see that in the standings in just a moment. The Knights hung on, or tried to hang in there, but they would fall by a score of 3-1. Julian Dalp with the single for Meaford in that game. The story of the game for the Knights in that one, Maris Salgrese's backup goalkeeper faced 49 shots in that game and was the first star of that game. So great to see Maris getting some playing time and starting to come around. And judging by those numbers, good things are in store for Maris for the second half of the season. Let's take a look now at the league standings. Temiskaming, the story of the GMHL right now. They started off the season, the first 8 games, they were 4-4. They have run off 15 straight wins and currently lead the North Division standings with 38 points. So the Knights will be meeting them, I think, a couple times, or at least once more before Christmas. So Almaguin has a 5-game winning streak of their own, sitting at 4 points behind at 34 points. Take a look at the Knights of Meaford. Best season yet in franchise history, sitting there 14-6-3. Can't help but think those 3 overtime losses, and those were the teams above them in the standings, I believe. Well, one was against Ville-Marie. You turn those into wins. Now the Knights are sitting pretty much in second place. So, but the Knights having a great start. They need to start winning some of those games against the teams above them in the standings. But we're at the halfway point. Still a lot of hockey left yet. So let's take a look at the Knights' leading scorers. Tyler Strutz leading the way as he has all season long, 36 points. Now, if Nico Walsh could stop getting suspended, I'm not sorry. Nico, 19 games played, he's got 25 points. I think he'd have a few more. Connor Long, I called him last week the granddaddy of the team on defense, been there since day one with 24 points. Callum Queenan beat his last year's total for the entire season already this year. He's got 23 points, and sitting some defensemen in there, Colton Langowski and David Hooper. So now let's take a look at the league's leading scorers. As it has been all season long, look at this Chris Hay guy in St. George, 25 games. He's averaging just under 4 points a game, but 92 points. St. George, again, well represented. They've got 4 players in the top 10 of scoring. I keep mentioning my buddy from Tottenham there, Vyacheslav Grganchev. He's got 70 points. As I keep saying each and every week, Grganchev will definitely be up there battling with Chris Hay for that top spot. Again, no Knights of Meaford in the top 10 scoring, but the reason for that is that everybody's scoring. They've got such a well-balanced team this year. They got 4 lines that can go every night. And, you get a look at the Knights leading, or you take a look down the list. I don't think there isn't a player without at least 1 goal this year. So let's take a look at the upcoming games if we could, Mark. Before the Christmas break, as you can see, Friday, December 15th is the cutoff. Before the Christmas break, take a look at that schedule for the Knights. This coming Thursday night, Rogers will be there as the Knights face off against the Bradford Rattlers, 7:30 start. And then they have to take off to Quebec. They'll be visiting Ville-Marie. The last time these 2 teams met, Ville-Marie prevailed in a shootout, beating the Knights 5-4 here in Meaford. And then NewTek. NewTek have been struggling right now. They're doing something that they have not done in the team's history, and they've lost 5 games in a row. So they're really struggling. They'll be here on Thursday, December the 7th. Then they've got Omagwin, again, Temiskaming, and they'll finish off with South Muskoka before the Christmas break. So interesting schedule coming up for the Knights. I guess now it's time for Meet the Knights, and I've got 2 special guests, a couple of American boys here with me. Closest to me, Matt Ellsworth. You're from Oswego, Illinois.
Yep.
Oswego, did I say that right?
Yeah, Oswego.
Oswego. I think I should have said anyway, it doesn't matter. And to his right is Mitch Bolduc. Mitch from Northborough, Massachusetts. We don't have to guess who your NFL team is.
No, we do not.
No, we don't. All right. All right, guys. So welcome to the show. Matt,
Thank
you're
you.
17 years old.
Yep.
And you're a first-year player on the team. And I think you've seen about 4. You've started in about 4 games
Yeah,
this year.
4
But
games.
as I was saying to you before we started taping, you definitely make the most of your ice time when you're out there.
Oh, yeah.
You know, as far as I'm concerned, I'll stay out of the coaching end of it. But you could do with a little more ice time, I think.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's definitely up to the coaches, but I just try every practice, every time to work as hard as I can and make my ice time happen and get those shifts, make them count.
You certainly do that. I know that each and every time that we've seen you play, like, you know, on Rogers, your name has definitely stood out to me as the play-by-play announcer. So, yeah, they keep working hard, I guess, as they say, and then good
Thank
things
you.
will come.
Yeah.
All right. So last year you were in high school hockey in New
Yeah.
York, or sorry, in
yeah.
Illinois. Sorry.
Yeah, in Illinois for the Waubonsie Warriors. Definitely a huge transition from high school hockey to junior leagues up in Canada. And honestly, the transition was hard, but I think just with hard work and attitude, I can make it up there and keep climbing my way up the ladder.
There's a ton of overagers in the GMHL. Their rule is a lot different than any league I know of, really. It's where they can carry, a team can carry up to 14, 20 or 21-year-olds. So you had just coming out of high school hockey, those 4 years can make a big difference in development.
Yeah, definitely. But also I think it's kind of a positive because kids on our team who are 20, 21, the veterans, like seeing them play, learning how they play is helping me out a lot. So it's a blessing and a curse, but I like it. It's fun.
And you know, you're only as good as your opponent, right? And playing against those older players, playing against them as well, and doing as well as you are against them is going to help you in your development as well.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. Mitch Bolduc, how you doing?
Good. You?
Good. I told you before the show that you remind, a lot of people have said you remind us of a player from last year. His name was Ragnar Russ. So, and that's a good thing because he was a good player, so.
Definitely not a bad thing. I don't know what he looks like, what he does, or not much about him, but I've heard it a few times.
Okay, so you are from Northborough, Massachusetts, as I said, and what brings you to Meaford? You played with Tyler Stratz?
Yeah, last year.
Okay, yeah.
Played half the season there, then I injured my shoulder. Had a little dispute with the coach, went to a different team, finished the year up there. Didn't get accepted into any colleges, so I got a message from Danny Smith, said give it a whirl, and then I contacted Struddy, said, hey, what do you think, want to come up, and here we are.
And here you are, and it's, you know, it's a funny story too. I thought you were still in Massachusetts. I had heard your name, and you were on the team, and you were coming, but meanwhile, I'd seen you like how many times, you
Probably
know,
15,
at the
20.
rink. Yeah, exactly. So I thought, and that's why, like I said, I sent a message to somebody on Facebook. I said, when's Bolduc coming, right? It's already here. All right, so exciting time for the Knights. First time in 4 years, or in the 5 years they've been in the league. They've made it to the showcase for the very first time. And, you know, in years gone by, it's just been 1 or 2 players. Now you've got the entire team going down there. Matt, what does that mean to you with the potential for all of those scouts and people there?
Definitely, I think it's a huge thing. I'm super proud of the boys for working that hard to get there, and it's one of the goals we set for this year. But I think it's a huge opportunity for me and everyone on the team to go and make a name for themselves if they want to reach that next level.
And is that something you're looking forward to, Mitch? You know, hopefully somebody sees you and you can continue on with your hockey after
Hopefully,
this year.
yeah. We got 2 good games. We play the Bulls, and then we get to play St. George. So we get to see that Chris Hay line. Hopefully Lowry's line can shut him down. Hope for the best.
That'd be amazing. Yeah, I was looking at the schedule you've got, and the Bulls so-so, but I mean, St. George being as tough as they are, the scouts are really going to want to watch that game. So they may be there to watch some of the St. George guys, but you know, I mean, the book's out on Meaford already too, as well as you know, everybody knows that you've got that depth on this team this year. That's, you know, as I said earlier, the 4 lines deep, and that's what makes you so strong in the third period in most games. Yeah,
Definitely agree with that.
yeah. So so how do you feel your first year in Meaford?
First year, I love it. I can't complain about anything. The Billet family is awesome. The coaching staff is awesome. Our trainer, everyone is here has just been making an awesome opportunity here.
It's fantastic. I took a look at just to learn a bit about Northborough, and it's about 15,000 people, so it isn't a whole lot bigger than Meaford. Yeah. So you're used to maybe that smaller town atmosphere?
A little bit. I lived in Northborough, then I lived up in Tingsboro for a year where our rink was. And last year I had a house with a couple of my buddies in Worcester, which is a bigger city, so kind of seen it all. But Meaford's awesome. Love it here. Darren, he's the man. Uncle D, D Swizz, Danny Smith, all the coaches. My billets are awesome. Andrew and Mark. Couldn't do it without them.
I haven't brought this up to the other players this year, but watching you guys come out one night for the warm-up at the rink, and I see these warm-up jerseys coming out around. I'm looking at them, and I'm going, those are pepperonis.
Yeah. Yep.
So I've called these the flying pepperonis, of course. That's what I call these when you're out there doing your warm-up. But Amici Pizzeria and Restaurant in Meaford, who actually provides all of our meals for us, the pizza and for Rogers TV. And I guess they sponsor your warm-up jerseys.
Yeah. Yeah, they're awesome jerseys. Gotta love the pizzas. Going out there, pepperonis, you know, kind of intimidate the other team. But
or at least give them a good laugh.
Yeah.
So, but no, Amici, fantastic people and great pizza. And like I said, they take care of the Rogers crew each and every week. So
chicken bacon Caesar.
Maybe
great
you
pizza.
guys should wear those
for a game.
Thursday night against Bradford just to freak them out a little bit.
Oh yeah.
All right. Anybody you'd like to say hello to at home, or?
Yeah, back home, my mom, my dad, just everyone back home, my sister, and also a shout out to Billet parents, best guys in the world, awesome dinners, awesome people. And again, yeah, Darren, Mitch shouted him out already, but he's been working with me a lot, and he's been awesome. Yeah.
Great guy, Darren Clark.
Yeah. Also, Lil Pump pumped me up before the games. Great guy,
yeah.
Great music.
Awesome. All right. And Mitch, your turn.
All my buddies back home, Charmandar, my mom, my dad, Keith. Oh, I don't know. That's about it. Can't really think of too many other people.
All right. All right, guys, I want to thank you very much for doing this, and best of luck in the second half of the season. Heading home for Christmas?
Yes, definitely.
Can't wait. Lots of time off in between, so you miss Thanksgiving, at least the American Thanksgiving anyway. So,
yeah.
Yeah, so you have to make up for last time at Christmas with the families and everything.
Mom actually came up here for Thanksgiving, so we had an American Thanksgiving. It's pretty fun.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
That's great. All right, guys, well, thanks very much. We'll see you Thursday night, facing off against the Bradford Rattlers at the Meaford St. Vincent Community Center. I'm Rob Leonard, and for executive producer Mark Perry, we'll see you next time on Nice Talk.